Hello, I am Mamudu Gajaga and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thank you for joining us. First, here are the main local news headlines. The Managing Director of NAWEC has confirmed to QTV that his institution has secured funding for the electrification of more than 600 communities in rural Gambia. Kumba Gay, a 28-year-old teacher who suffered from a brain tumor, has died. A team from Ireland who contributed towards her overseas treatment are in the Gambia to pay condolences to her family. The management of the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority and partners on Thursday issued a warning that illegal fuel sellers and suppliers will be arrested, their facilities also shut down. In sports news, we bring you news about Gambian Paralympians competing in the Tokyo Paralympic Games and also results from Africa's World Cup qualifying for Qatar 2022 second round of matches which began on Wednesday. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us wherever you are watching from around the world. The Managing Director of NAWEC has confirmed to QTV that his institution has secured funding for the electrification of more than 600 communities in rural Gambia. Nani Juara said they are working hard to meet the universal access target by 2025. Babu Karsi tells us more.
The target is centered on some parts of the West Coast region and the rest are in the rural Gambia where some areas have never had electricity. Already, the government has signed 2 contracts to provide access to most parts of the Gambia, the most recent being where the president laid the foundation stone covering Lamenkoto to Diabugo. The latest funding is supported by the European Union, the World Bank and the Investment Bank, targeting more than 600 communities.
This is part of the overall regional access project that we have benefited and is entirely a grant funding. It is not a loan. It's completely 100% grant to the Gambia government. So in addition to those 2 contracts, we have also floated a tender already to cover communities, additional communities in North Bank, and also URR North and URR South. So overall, we are targeting to cover 685 communities by 2023.
Managing Director Nani Juara said they have new initiatives to help Gambians access electric meters with ease.
This time around, we are trying to ensure that people will not only have services closer to their homes, but also have the opportunity now to be connected. In the past, the experience that we had in the rural areas was that some of the projects, when we implemented them, it takes a very long time for some of the low-income earners to have access, simply because they cannot afford the application fee or maybe the cost of the service. So in this case, we are going to highly subsidize the cost of the meter to electricity, so that the issue of conflicts that happen within homes where there's only 1 meter and 3 families are sharing 1 meter and every day they are in conflict. We want to see how best we can minimize this to bring the cost, if not for free, which we might not say for free, but we are going to bring it to bare minimum that we can assume that everyone should be able to afford it.
The news will be welcomed by those living in rural Gambia. However, what are the prospects for those living within the Greater Banjul area who continue to struggle to access water? Here is Nani Juara again.
I can make reference to one of your news this thing, what is called item on one of the days in Kololi. I believe we are trying, but we still have some room to improve. That's the reality. The demand is increasing on a daily basis because we have seen after change of government, a lot more people have returned home. More businesses have opened and the demand on our services have increased. This was not matched with the investment that was put in the sector. Maybe you are aware, we have just commissioned a new project, which is the Indian Water Supply Project. But believe it or not, you'll be surprised. Despite the fact that we have increased production capacity, we have realized that all this water is now being consumed.
On electricity, Mr. Juara said most of their generators are old and maintenance is expensive, but they are doing their best with new projects. He has a message for Gambians.
Appeal to all our customers to continue to support, and we ask for their understanding. The challenges will be there, but it's not bad to have challenges because it's always going to be a wake-up call for you to do more. And with that, we are very much encouraged. And we can also reassure you that no stone will be left unturned.
Babu Karsi, QTV News.
A team from Ireland who contributed towards the overseas treatment of Kumba Gay, a 28-year-old teacher who suffered from a brain tumor, are in the Gambia to pay condolences to her family after they received the shocking news of her death. Kumba's plight had been highlighted on QTV. Amar Pijalo reports.
Kumba Gay suffered from a brain tumor, which led to her losing sight in both eyes. The 28-year-old lady taught at Rainbow Nursery and Primary School for 7 years before she lost her sight. QTV did a broadcast highlighting that Miss Gay was requiring urgent treatment that was not available in the Gambia. This prompted campaigns nationwide and beyond to raise funds to foot the young teachers' medical bills. The Irish Friends School charity is one support out of the many that took care of the young teacher's medical bill to Turkey, where she was operated on and later returned home. The head of the Irish team, Patricia Barry, revealed the shock when news of Kumba's death reached them and also explained what they intend to do in her memory.
It's sad that Kumba is not with us today. All of our friends at home are very sad about it. As you say, it's tough on family, but I know Kumba loved everybody very much. Beautiful smile every time. And I know everybody loved Kumba very much. We are still going to go ahead with our build of the school. We've created our own charity, the Irish Friends Schools Charity. So we are building with Osman's help. We are going building 2 classrooms in Jabaro. And when they are completed in 1 week, those classrooms are going to be in the memory of Kumba. And those classrooms will be used in Kumba's name to help other children educate and help themselves. So I think Kumba would be happy.
Fatou Senghor, who linked the team with Kumba, and Usman Ba, deputy governor of CRR, also the team's local partner, both extended heartfelt condolences to the family and thanked the team for their humanitarian gesture.
To know that Kumba family also they need help because the brother-in-law is a mechanic. You can see the cars are here.
It has also happened, but then Kumba had all the support that she needed, really, to be cured.
Idrissa Ejata, Kumba's brother-in-law, Ahmad Sen, Kumba's uncle, and Mamad Gay, Kumba's elder brother, all expressed their appreciation to the team and shared their shock at Kumba's death.
We wish you people also good health, long life and happiness. That's the only way we can thank you people.
In an exclusive interview with QTV before her overseas treatment, Kumba Gay had explained the pain she had to endure.
I don't know how
It all started as a normal headache, and then I started getting dizzy sometimes. And every time I try to bend my head, I feel so much pain.
Although Kumba's passion for teaching and dream to excel in life has been cut short by her unfortunate death, building a school in her memory will undoubtedly keep her memory alive in the minds of her family and loved ones forever, and perhaps put a smile on her face in heaven. May her gentle soul rest in perfect peace in heaven. Amen. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Sad news, and may her gentle soul rest in Jannah. The management of the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority and partners on Thursday briefed the media about the illegal fuel peddling ongoing in the country. According to Pura, the illegal act is rampant and dangerous as people have lost their lives because of fuel-related accidents. Babu Karsi again.
Over the years, the authority and its partners have worked to increase the number of fuel stations in the Gambia, especially in the Greater Banjul area. However, the Public Utility Authority is now worried that some merchants are engaged in illegal selling of fuel within residential areas, and owners of tanker trucks are also engaged in delivering large quantities of fuel to these illegal facilities. On the 3rd of August 2021, a major fire incident happened in such a fatality in the village of Jalambang in Brikama, leading to a loss of life and extensive destruction of property. Previously, a similar incident had happened in Old Yundum in 2020, also resulting in the loss of life. As a result, the Public Utility Regulatory Authority and its partners are on a massive campaign to arrest all illegal fuel sellers and shut down such facilities across the country. Yusufa M. Jobt, the Director General of PURA, in a press conference on Thursday, had a simple and direct message to those involved in this illegal trade.
It's not worth it. First, the risk involved, and we will get you. I promise you, if you are dealing with these illegal activities, we are no longer going to accept or entertain it. It's enough. You don't regularize yourself, we will take the law onto you. Because something has to be done to stop this. First of all, the fuel and things they are selling is substandard. It's not gotten legally, how it came in, where they bought it from. Sometimes it's brought in by smugglers. And then on top of that, you are putting the lives of people at risk.
Ndene Nying from the National Environment Agency explained the last time they were engaged in this type of operation.
We have to work closely with PURA and other stakeholders to see to it that this stops and they formalize themselves. It happens earlier, around 2004, when the president himself, the then president, noticed that there is a lot of risks associated with it, which claims lives. That was the first time we, went around and closed that trip. I can remember we closed about 45 buying points. We said the buying points, those are illegal buying points. We really don't need these pockets of, illegal fuel dealers within the greater Banjul area.
Momodu Lamin Sompo Sise, Director of Water, Petroleum and Energy, said the operation won't stop at the greater Banjul areas.
Next week, we have planned to carry out a visit to all the provincial sites with the fire service and NEA, and we will also be doing a scoping study there to see who is doing it in Farafenye, in Basse and things, and enforcement is going to be taken. So this, what we can do at PURA, and it can only come from the head of the institution, is to reassure you that we are committed to this enforcement, and you have had it firsthand. So we have started, we will continue, and I think you can hold us accountable to that as well.
At the end of the press conference, the authorities took us to Kanifing, where the seized fuels in Gunjur are being kept by the fire service officers. The Public Utilities Regulatory Authority is mandated to regulate the entire value chain of the petroleum sector, and the law requires a license to sell petroleum products. Babukar Si, QTV News.
Well, from that report by Babukar Si, we will now go for a short commercial break, and when we return, we will have some more local and sports news stories. Do stay tuned.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow. Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is QTV News. As efforts continue to mass vaccinate people in the Gambia, our reporter Al Hassan Ba spoke to public health officials in the Lower River region and the public on vaccination campaign. Here is his report.
Vaccine hesitancy seems to be easing in the Gambia. We engaged the public health officials at the Soma District Hospital to find out how the process is going, and also sought public opinion. Mbara C, Public Health Desk Officer at Soma District Hospital, said the public's response towards the vaccine is positive.
Initially, when we start vaccinating, people were reluctant to come and take the vaccine. The coverage was very low. But as time goes on, a lot of people have understand that the vaccine is safe and it's important for them to come and take the vaccine. So right now, our impression is a lot of people have learned a lot of people have understand, and they know that it is important to take the vaccine, and a lot of people are coming to take the vaccine.
Abdullah Diba, the Regional Operation Officer for Expansion Officer for Immunization, said they are expecting to vaccine 58,000 people in the region.
And out of those, we have health workers, about 474 people targeted. We have people with comorbidities are also among the targets. You know, when we say people of comorbidities, these are people with hypertension, diabetes, and other infectious diseases, yes, line conditions. And then also community workers are also among the targets, you understand, and those above 65 years and above, and then even those between 18 to 45. These are all among the target people. But we had priorities because we all know the vaccines is not as enough as it's supposed to be to serve all these people.
Pate Ba explains why he decided to come and take the vaccine.
Initially, people were afraid to take the vaccine because of misinformation circulating on social media regarding the vaccine. But now I've taken a shot of the vaccine. There was a disease many years ago that killed many children, and during that period, anyone above 50 years was vaccinated. I was part of that, and I have taken this one too. Since I took my first dose of the vaccine, I didn't feel anything on my body. None of the side effects had affected me. That's why I came to take my second dose.
I took the injection because people have been taking the meningitis vaccine, and I know the benefits. That's what made me believe that the vaccine can prevent us from the disease.
According to scientists, the only way things can go back to normal is when everyone is vaccinated. However, in some countries, there are loud voices of protest against vaccination. Some fueled by unfounded claim that the vaccine was created to reduce the global population. In the Gambia, it appears the so-called vaccine hesitancy is being replaced by acceptance. Reporting for QTV News, I am Al Hassan Ba.
Now, the recent increase in the price of bread in Farafenni has led to its scarcity, affecting families and businesses. Our North Bank correspondent Dawn Williams went to find out what caused the problem.
Bread is very popular in the Gambia, especially in the mornings and in the evenings. It is also a major food supplement to a staple food, which is rice. The sudden price increase in Farafenni from $7 to $10 a loaf has greatly affected people, especially low-income earners and those with large families. The scarcity has forced some bread sellers to go to the nearby border villages of Senegal to buy bread. Others have changed their diet from bread to buying chakri, biscuits or ebe. Umi Jallo, a social worker residing in the community, explains the difficulty she faces.
Some people are selling it at the cost of $7 and some are selling it at the cost of $10, which has caused few issues within the community because now most of them are not baking bread and people really have to struggle to buy bread to eat, and knowing that bread is the second staple food in the Gambia.
Sally Touré, a petty trader, also has this to say.
These bakers have caused a big problem in Farafenni. Some people eat bread during breakfast, others have it for a dinner and even for lunch. I call on the bakers to leave the price at $7 so that people can afford it.
Fatima Silla, a housewife, says she ate gari which is made from cassava instead of bread. Ibrahim Njai, a baker, spoke about high cost of a bag of flour, which caused the problem.
The price of flour has gone up. If you buy a bag of flour for $1,500, pay transportation and buy firewood, you will not get profit by selling a loaf for $7. We are pleading with the government to engage those who import flour because it is affecting the poor people.
The president of the Farafenni Bakers Association gives an overview of their motive for increasing bread prices and why the bakers put down their tools.
Bag of flour has increased, and then cost of firewood and other expenses that's incurred. We found like selling the bread at $7 is no more profitable. We're going in for loss. So that was our main motive of increasing the price to $10. The market here, the price is not stable. You can go to a supplier or a shopkeeper. He will say to you in different prices.
Since the increase of the price of bread, which many imagine was temporary, it has remained at $10. Despite complaints by consumers, it appears the people have no choice but to embrace the $3 increment to the price of bread. Reporting for QTV News, I am Don Williams.
Well, who doesn't love those beautiful loaves of tapalapa? But you can try mono or money or porridge. Coming up next is sports. Gambian Paralympian Malan Tamba finished 6th in the T54 400 meters heats in a personal best of 1 minute 10 seconds at the Tokyo Paralympic Games. He competed again in the 100 meters, finishing 4th at the Olympic Stadium. We have been monitoring his progress and that of fellow para-athlete Fatou Sane in this report. A first Paralympic appearance for Malan Tamba in the wheelchair racing saw him finish 6th and 4th respectively in the men's T54 400 meters and 100 meters heats. He failed to progress to the second round in both events, but is hopeful of an improved timing in his last event, the 200 meters. Gambian journalist Haji Drame, who doubles as the PRO of the Gambian National Paralympic Committee, watched it all.
Today we witnessed a very important race for the Gambia. You could recall on Wednesday we were here to witness Malan Tamba competing in the T54 400 meter race for the men. He competed and break his personal best, but that was not enough for him to go into the next stages. Today we are back here at the Olympic Stadium where he was among the elite athletes for the 100 meter T54 race. Malan competed in a race comprises of 4 Paralympians, top Paralympians. Malan finished 4th.
The Gambia para-athletes were guided by coach Abdoulaye Danso, who has expressed satisfaction despite his athletes missing out on places in the semi-finals or winning a medal. He described their performance as impressive.
It has been indeed an overwhelming hard work to ensure that an achievement is done not only for the Gambia National Paralympic Committee, but of course Gambia as a whole. But fortunately enough, the boys has tried their best. They've been trying their best, but of course this time around they've tried beyond circumstance. But however, they could not come out to be a medalist, as opposed to other events where we came out with the gold, the bronze, and the silver medal. But notwithstanding, Malan came out fourth in this race. Haven't understand that Malan competed among one of the top elites in the world.
Another Gambian athlete to compete at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games is Fatou Sane. Her debut at the Games did not end well, as she finished 5th among 5 athletes in the women's T54 100 meters heats too, in a timing of 24.10 seconds. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News. Still on sports, Africa's World Cup qualifying for Qatar 2022 second round began on Wednesday with top-ranked side Senegal defeating Togo on home soil. There were wins for Egypt and Libya, while Guinea and Guinea-Bissau played out a 1-1 draw on neutral ground in Mauritania. More in this report. Senegal and Liverpool star Sadio Mane scored for the Lions in their Group H opener with Togo at home. Mane fired in his side ahead just before the hour mark, before Abdou Diallo doubled their advantage late in the game. The victory represents revenge for the Senegalese, who could not beat the Sparrowhawks as they kicked them out of the 2006 World Cup qualifiers when they last met at this stage. In a tight game, Egypt beat Angola 1-0 thanks to a 5th-minute penalty converted by Majid Moussi. The Pharaohs played without their star man Mohamed Salah, who could not make the trip because Egypt is listed amongst one of the British government's COVID red list countries. Despite the defeat, the Palancas Negras can take heart from a spirited performance. While the Pharaohs placed at the top of Group F may be of little surprise, that of Libya is, but the North Africans earned a much savored 2-1 win against Gabon on the plastic pitch of Benghazi, with the winning goal coming deep into stoppage time. Defeat was hard on Gabon as they had taken a deserved lead on the 11th minute. Elsewhere, it ended 1-1 as neighbours Guinea-Bissau and Guinea met in a World Cup qualifier for the first time in 25 years. The game should have been played in Bissau, but as the stadium there was deemed unfit by the Confederation of African Football (CAF) last month, it took place in Mauritania. Earlier, the Central African Republic CAR, also barred from using their stadium, drew 1-1 with Cape Verde, as Group C game marked the very first in Africa's second round. The match was played in the Cameroonian city of Douala, after the national stadium in the Central African Republic capital Bangui was deemed unfit to host international matches by CAF. The next game in Group C takes place on Friday when Nigeria hosts Liberia. Finally to Group E, where Mali were another side barred from playing at home yet secured a narrow 1-0 win against Rwanda thanks to Adama Traore's 19th-minute strike. Like others, Mali should have been playing the game on home soil, but instead took to the field in the Moroccan city of Agadir after their stadium also failed CAF standards. Mali built new stadiums to host the Africa Cup of Nations in 2002, but none are now deemed suitable. Early games on Thursday see Kenya take on Uganda and DR Congo at home to Tanzania. Later on, among a spate of matches, African champions Algeria are at home to Djibouti and Morocco are at home to Sudan. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News. That's all we have for you in tonight's news edition, but don't forget to join us at 10 for another bulletin.